What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we're going to be taking a look at a deck that got top 16 earlier this month at Sheffield Regionals over in Europe, and that is a Houndoom Raticate Gumshoos-GX deck. Really interesting stuff. Houndoom has been a deck that people have really been trying out a lot ever since the rotation back in August, September, and it's seen moderate success, but mostly over in Europe by a couple of really well-known good players that just continue to play the deck and continue to pilot it to some success. So we're going to take a look at Houndoom-EX and what makes this deck interesting and how this deck works. So without further ado, let's jump into this deck. I do want to say that this deck list is the list that Joe over at Woopercast used to make top 16, so definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to his podcast about this deck in the description down below, link to his video, so definitely go check that out. So anyways, Houndoom-EX here, 170 HP basic fire Pokemon with Melting Horn. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So the idea is that we are a 170 HP, huge Pokemon, really hard to take a one-hit knockout on, and Melting Horn, we can continually mill off the top 2 cards of our opponent's deck. And through the use of things like Max Potion, we're able to heal our Houndooms off and continue to reattach energies to just keep going and keep using Melting Horn turn after turn, all at the same time removing our opponent's energy from play through the use of things like Crushing Hammer and Team Flare Grunt. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the deck, the rest of the Pokemon, and what makes this interesting. We are also playing a 3/3 Rattata Raticate line. So Raticate, of course, has the 2 really good attacks. Crunch, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, and Shadowy Bite. This attack does 60 damage times the number of special energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. So if we're playing up against a deck that does use a lot of special energy cards, Shadowy Bite is an attack that can come in the late game, and we could actually potentially take 6 prizes through knocking 3 EX Pokemon out with Raticate here. With Shadowy Bite, it hits really, really hard. And also, Rattata here has a really good ability, Mischievous Fang. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may discard all Pokemon Tool cards attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So, if we Lysandre something up that has a high retreat cost that maybe they put a Float Stone on earlier in the game, we can use the Mischievous Fang ability to discard that Float Stone, get it off, and keep that thing with high retreat stuck in the active potentially for a few turns. Also playing a 1/1 Yungoos Gumshoos-GX line. Yes, Gumshoos-GX, the man Donald Trump is here himself. Search the Premises ability once during your turn before you attack. You may have your opponent reveal your hand. Knowing what your opponent has in their hand is incredibly strong in this deck. Knowing when it's going to be good to use Team Flare Grunt to leave them with no energy, or Team Skull Grunt. Like, sometimes it's not worth it to use Team Flare Grunt if you know that they have another energy they're going to replace anyways, so just inning or Sycamoring in that turn might be better. Knowing when to use Team Skull Grunt is very nice. Also, Gumshoos-GX is an attack we could potentially use, a strategy that a lot of people use against these Houndoom decks, is to just load up a bunch of energy on one attacker and try to go in with that one attacker, but Gumshoos can definitely prevent that from happening. 10 damage plus this attack does 50 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So once again, guys, definitely potential to take 6 prizes with this deck. And also, just to round things out, we are playing 1 Shaymin-EX. Now, Joe said that this is mostly just for whenever you have a dead hand, you really need to reset your hand. We're going to try not to play Shaymin down if we don't have to, because that is just a 2-prize liability sitting on our bench that is really easy for our opponent to knock out. So we're definitely going to try to avoid that if we can, but without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this deck list here. For Crushing Hammers, this is something we had talked about a little earlier. Just removing our opponent's energy from play is very crucial, as well as the 2 Enhanced Hammers. Doing the same thing if we're playing up against those special energy decks. Things like Mega Rayquaza and Yveltal really rely on double colorless energy, so being able to remove those with Enhanced Hammer is nice. The 4 copies of Max Potion we talked about, being able to heal our Houndoom is super, super nice. 1 copy of Super Rod, going to be using this to get back our energies. Of course, we do discard our energies when we use Max Potion, so getting them back later. Also, if we have to discard like our Raticates or maybe a piece of our 1/1 Yungoos Gumshoos line, getting that back with Super Rod is going to be nice. 3 copies of Trainers Mail just to add a little bit more consistency to the early turns. Also, 4 copies of Ultra Ball just so we can set up any of our Pokemon that we need to set up at specific times. 4 copies of VS Seeker to reuse these supporters. 2 copies of Parallel City, limiting our opponent's bench can be very, very nice in these instances. Also, we can use this to bump the Shaymin if we do have to use it in the early turns. 2 copies of Lysandre being able to bring up something with high retreat to potentially stall them out for a few turns. That's going to be the idea here with these Lysandres. 3 copies of N. We're playing, or 4 copies of N, excuse me. We're playing more copies of N than we are of Sycamore in this instance, because we have a lot of pieces we really don't want to discard in the early turns. Like, we don't want to discard our hammers early. We don't want to discard our max potions early. So having a higher count of N is going to help us with that. And then 2 copies of Sycamore, just because, you know, sometimes we do need that extra bit of draw, so Sycamore is there for that reason. 1 copy of Skyla, we'll be able to use this to search out any of, like, a Max Potion, an Enhanced Hammer, Super Rod, Ultra Ball, you know, Parallel City, maybe even setting up a supporter for the next turn. Whatever we need, Skyla can grab us out of our deck, for the most part. 4 copies of Team Flare Grunt. This is going to be very crucial, removing our opponent's energy. A Team Flare Grunt plus a Crunch can be very, very devastating in some instances. Then we also have 1 Team Skull Grunt, being able, just like I said, guys, running our opponent out of resources and continuing to win by milling them out of cards. 3 Float Stones here, and then 7 Fire Energies, just to round it out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this deck. I think it's pretty decent. We're going to go ahead and hop onto the Versus Ladder, see if we can't score some wins. If you guys enjoy these videos, as always, please definitely be sure to leave a like down below. Once again, check out Joe's video on this deck over on Woopercast. I will leave a link, like I said, down in the description. So definitely check that out. And thanks to Joe for sharing his list, of course, and congratulations to him on making such a great run earlier this month at the Sheffield Regionals. So, like I said, guys, be sure to leave a like if you enjoy these videos. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links to those things are always down in the description. So, Cerberus 13 here, playing a grass colorless deck. This is more than likely going to be Decidueye, which is definitely a pretty bad matchup. And we do start Yungoos. We do get a Float Stone at least, and we are going first, so we'll be able to hopefully play through some of these items. We can potentially win just by running them out of energy, but of course they will still have their feather arrows in order to continue to put damage on the board. So he does start Lugia and benches a Rowlet. So we're going to go ahead and put a Float Stone on Yungoos, and I think we're going to go ahead and just Sycamore. We really need to draw cards here. We want to get set up as much as we can. We get a Houndoom, which is nice. 2040. He can't knock out Yungoos, I don't think. So we're going to Ultra Ball. We're going to discard the Crushing and the Sycamore. We're going to keep the Enhanced Hammer just in case he does miss the item lock. With our Ultra Ball, I think we want to go ahead and get another Houndoom out. Rattata dies very, very quickly to 2 Feather Arrows, so that's an issue for sure. I think we will just go ahead and get another Houndoom. We'll go ahead and we'll leave the Yungoos active. I guess if he gets DCE plus Feather Arrow, he can knock it out, so maybe we do retreat it. But I don't want damage on the... okay, we're going to go ahead and retreat. We're going to via Seeker, because we're most likely going to get item locked here, and we're going to grab a Professor Sycamore, and we are just going to pass. Onto our opponent's turn. Let's see what they have going. Next turn, if they don't get an item lock and they put a DCE on Lugia or something, we can easily Enhanced Hammer that away. We have the Evolution, we have the Sycamore, everything we need. Definitely looking pretty good with our hand the way it is. But like I said, guys, I'm pretty sure this is just a all-around bad matchup. That's one of the things Joe talked about in his video. Just how this is all around not a great matchup, so especially with, you know, Raticate only has 60 HP, and Raticate's very important. But he's going to go ahead and Lily here for 4 cards. So off these 4 cards, let's see if he hits the pieces he needs to set up the Vileplume. Ooh, man, he has nothing. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go see how bad his hand is. Oh, wow. 2 Decidueyes. Wait, why did he not play? Oh, yeah, because he lilied. Okay. 2 Lysandre. So he has supporters. So we're most likely going to get End next turn. So I think we will just go ahead and play Professor Sycamore. We do get a Fire Energy, which is nice, and nothing else playable, unfortunately. So we will just Melting Horn, but we're going to get End more than likely. So we'll see if he's able to set up the Vileplume now on this turn. Unless he top decked a different supporter he wants to use, I would imagine we're going to see an N. Yep. He had no other playable cards in his hand. He was probably considering whether or not it would be worth it to Lysandre something, but that doesn't really do much good since we just put another Fire Energy here onto Houndoom and start chipping away even more. So he's going to get a Level Ball. Probably grab a Dartrix, I would assume. Yep. So no Vileplume set up yet for my opponent. If we top deck a Fire Energy, we could actually Lysandre the Dartrix and knock it out with a Grand Flame. He plays a town map, actually. So he prized an Oddish and 2 Ultra Balls. That's pretty unfortunate. And he just passes on to our turn, so this is an opening that we can really use. Let's go ahead and search the premises, see if we want to play this Team Skull Grunt or something. 2 Forest of Giant Plants. My opponent has absolutely nothing. Okay. So how can we capitalize on this? My opponent has nothing at all. Let's go ahead and Skyla. I think we want to set up... I kind of think we want to set up the Rattata. I think we'll actually just grab a Team Flare Grunt. We're going to Crushing Hammer, and if we hit this, we're going to Lysandre the... I don't know if it's better to Lysandre this or just try to leave this active. I think we are just going to leave this active. And let's just keep using Melting Horn. So they have a totally dead hand. 2 Force Giant Plants, and we get rid of a DCE there. Very nice. Let's see if they were able to top deck anything useful. Yes, okay. So there we go. We got our opponent down to a... They just drew really poorly there, got to a dead hand, and weren't able to do much from there. So luckily, stealing a win against a matchup that's honestly usually pretty unfavorable, I would feel like. So not bad there. Looks like we're going up against a Fairies Dragon deck. Could also be Rainbow Road with like a Flygon EX in there. That would be the Dragon typing, but this could also be G-Mancy Xerneas with the Xerneas Break plus like the Dragon attackers. So that's definitely something it could be. We unfortunately do start the Shaymin-EX. It looks like it is going to be Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir Dragons, maybe? So I'm assuming the not Despair Gardevoir, the other one. What's it called? I'm having a brain fart. Can't think of it, but we'll see it soon enough, I'm sure. My opponent taking multiple mulligans here. Giving us a lot of cards to work with. They will be going first, though, so not sure if we're going to get to keep this huge hand, and we will most likely get end, but we'll see what happens. And yes, we'll draw cards. Yes, we'll draw cards. I don't think we're going to bench the Rattata. We might want to save its... If he attaches a Spirit Link and we can Rattata it away, that would be very nice. Okay, so he's just going to grab an N. Let's see if he plays it or not. Yep. Oh, well, Gardevoir Spirit Link, and then maybe an N? Maybe? Maybe not. Max Elixir first. Whiffs there. I really don't like playing Max Elixirs with the G-Mancy Xerneas because you're taking energies out of your deck, therefore decreasing your odds of hitting them with Max Elixir, so... I don't know, I feel like the Max Elixirs could be better used for something else. You do get your energy in play early, but... if you're playing this G-Mancy Xerneas, you ideally want to start doing that as early as possible anyway. And he's just going to end. Okay, so that takes away the Rattata, but maybe we can draw into it. We do get an Ultra Ball, which can get us a Rattata. He could find a Fairy Energy, though, and just retreat so that that's not a risk for him. But he may not know what we're playing yet. All he's seen from us is a Shaymin-EX, the Fire Coin, so maybe he's thinking this could be Volcanion or something. I'm going to discard a Hex and a G-Mancy Xerneas. This guy's flying through his deck. Is he going to get a Shaymin here? I would be kind of surprised to see that. He could get like a Hoopa. No, just a Gardevoir. I was going to say he could get like Hoopa, then grab Dragon Attacker, Gardevoir, or Shaymin or something, but there he's just going to get a Giratina EX, which benching this is definitely nice. because that means that's something with a high retreat cost we can Lysandre and stall out of the game potentially. So I am going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. And I'm going to go get a... we're going to discard Sycamore and the Ultra Ball. I'm going to get a Rattata with this. And we're going to go ahead and discard his Spirit Link. Set up the Yungoos. And then we're going to end. We would love to draw something like Float Stone Fire Energy Houndoom. Doesn't quite happen for us though. So, what can this find us? Like a Float Stone? That doesn't even really do anything for us this turn. We'll go ahead and take the Lysandre, actually. Maybe Max Potion. Well, no, he's most likely going to Geomancy this turn. Or try to. So we'll just take the Lysandre. And we'll pass. So Raticate is something that could definitely have a factor in this game if he does put down his double dragon energies and we can discard them. Shadowy Bite can hit for a lot of damage. We can also, like I said earlier, potentially try to Lysandre and stall out this Giratina. A thing to consider though is that with Fairy Garden, all he needs is 1 energy in order to retreat anything, even if it has a higher retreat cost. So, for example here, he just retreats for free, and Geomancy will likely target down 2 Xerneas, or 2 Gardevoirs, maybe Gardevoir plus Giratina. And he's going to put it on both Gardevoirs. Okay. So we can get a Ultra Ball with the Skyla for the Gumshoos. So I think I actually do want to do that, just to have an idea of what he's working with, and maybe if we want to end this turn, or if we want to Team Flare Grunt, and what we want to work with there. So I will Ultra Ball, and I'm going to discard the Lysandre and the Team Flare Grunt. We're going to go grab the Gumshoos-GX. Do have all 3 Houndooms in the deck. Okay. Looks like we prized a Fire Energy, which can be an issue potentially, but we'll see if we want to end or just Team Flare Grunt. Let's see what he has. Does have a Fairy Energy, so Team Flare Grunt won't do a lot. He does have a Sycamore, so ending is okay. So I think we are going to just end here. Oh, but we already Skylaed. Yeah, sorry. Wow. Brain fart. Big brain fart. Let's just go ahead and click done. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I can Skyline in the same turn. Oops, nope. Good thing I didn't do that in a real-life tournament, because that would have been a game loss. If I shuffle my hand into my deck after already playing a supporter, that would have been bad. He's just going to Geomancy again, building up a ton of energy on his side of the board. Getting a Gardevoir there ready to go, and another Gardevoir ready to go. So, we know his hand is pretty good. He's got a Sycamore at least. He's got another Fairy Energy. So let's end, and we can use Search the Premises on the other side of the end. So we'll go ahead and bench the Rattata, no tools to get rid of, and we'll end. No Houndooms still, but we can at least go in with Raticate and Crunch, potentially. So let's Search the Premises, see what he has for us here. He does not have any energy, so we can Team Flare Grunt next turn, but we don't have a Float Stone on Shaymin yet. Okay. We'll go ahead and attach the energy here, and we will pass. Still having the Shaymin stuck in the active spot. Would have rather started anything else in the game except for the Shaymin. Anything else in the deck besides the Shaymin. So he will get his free retreat if he gets a... we saw he had the Spirit Link. We saw he had an Ultra Ball. So, I believe he had an Ultra Ball at least. Let's see. He might want to take out the Gumshoos and just take the prizes. No, he's going to take out the Raticate. Okay. And Shining Wind? Okay, Shining Wind. So let's promote Rattata. Okay, we get a Fire Energy. Let's search the premises. If he doesn't have an energy or a way to retreat, we can bring up this Gardevoir. He doesn't. So I think we're gonna do that. We can also Parallel City, so even if he does get a Gardevoir, so even if he does get a Fairy Energy, he can't retreat yet. He can Life Leap for 20, which is a little annoying. We're actually going to put it this way. We don't want to discard his benched stuff yet. Or really, period right now. And we're just going to Bite for 10. Kind of probably an irrelevant 10 damage, but we'll go ahead and do it. And next turn we can Sycamore or N. Probably just Sycamore, since we know he doesn't have a great hand. He has like a Hex Maniac, but that's not going to do anything for him right now. It'll prevent us from using Gumshoos. Oh, we knew he had a Fairy Guard, and we shouldn't have played the Stadium, so that's a mistake. So he's going to put back 2 Megas and a Xerneas. I didn't even notice he discarded the Megas, actually. Spirit Link down. Let's see. An N. Okay, so he top decked the N. I'm okay with that, though, I think. We do finally get into a Houndoom, so hopefully we can get a Fire Energy. Oh, Life Leap actually does 2 at KOS. Oh, yeah, but he can just retreat because he replaced the Stadium. Shining Wind, gonna take the knockout. So we'll go ahead and promote Gumshoos-GX. Has a high amount of HP. We can put down the Houndoom. Let's search the premises. Do we want to end first? Let's search the premises, see what he's working with over there. Does have a Seeker, he does have a Energy. Doesn't have, he'd have to dig in order to get out a Mega though, so he can't one-shot the Gumshoos. Worth noting. And we do have Max Potions and stuff. I think we might just want to Team Flare Grunt and go ahead and discard an Energy. Lysandre's not going to do any good since he does have an Energy. So let's go ahead and Team Flare Grunt. It'll force him, he may put it, if he puts the Energy here, then we can Lysandre the Shaymin or something next turn. So we'll click done. We do have Max Potion like I said. So he's down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 energies. He probably plays 9 or 10. He top decks the Ultra Ball. Okay. So he top decks an Ultra Ball. He's going to be able to get a Mega, which means he's going to be able to one-shot our Gumshoos. Pretty unfortunate there. So we'll bring up the Houndoom. And we really need a Fire Energy. Nope, Team Skull Grunt. And we don't have a way to look at his hand. We know he top decked that. We know he has a Hoopa at least. Oh no, he Ultra Balled the Hoopa. I think he has a VS Seeker in his hand though. We have to, I think we kind of just have to Lysandre and hope that he doesn't have a way to retreat the Shaymin. He's down a lot of energies, so not the highest chance. So we'll Lysandre the Shaymin. I think this is our best hope. If we just end, you know, he just knocks out Houndoom. If we Sycamore, he just knocks out Houndoom. So we need to do this. Hope he doesn't have a 10th Fairy Energy. Or an Olympia or anything like that. Via Seeker. Sycamore, so if he's doing this, he must know that he has another energy. Oh, but if he attaches this, he's going to fail it. Maybe he saw it and was like, okay, just to confirm, maybe playing the Max Elixir lets him confirm that it's in the deck. Because all he needs is the energy now to retreat and take the knockout. See if he hit it. Spirit Link. Mega. On our turn, okay. So we live for a turn. So we know he missed it. So we know he doesn't have an energy, so Team Skull Grunt does nothing. It lets us see his hand. Inning isn't going to really do anything. Let's go ahead and put down Rattata and we'll just Sycamore. Okay. Let's go ahead and Parallel City, and we'll put it this way. Taking some of his energy out of play, potentially. Like, he has to discard at least 2 energies. 3 if he discards Giratina plus something. And then if we hit heads on Crushing Hammer, that's another energy gone. So that goes down, I would imagine. Oh, no, he's going to get rid of the Giratina, actually. Crushing Hammer. Heads. So let's get rid of one of the Mega's energies. If we can get another Hammer next turn and get rid of that energy, that would be great. So even now, if he attached here, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, so still enough. So let's see, maybe we have to get lucky here and discard his last energy, if he even has another one. We got rid of a Double Dragon and a Xerneas Break. Let's see if he has an energy. Sycamore, he must know that it's in the deck if he's doing this. It must be in his deck. Fairy Garden. Why would he do that if it wasn't in his deck? Is he slow rolling us? Is this man just slow rolling us? The ultimate slow roller out here on the ladder playing Mega Gardevoir. Can he not retreat the Shaymin? If he can't retreat the Shaymin and take a knockout, then we just win the game. Because he's down 2, 3 energy. Pass! There we go. We take a game. Well, we're going to just go ahead and Grand Flame for the lulz. And take a win. So there we go. Getting 2 W's out here on the ladder with the Houndoom Raticate Gumshoos Mill deck. Like I said, guys, be sure to check out Woopercast down in the description. Check out the video that he did on this deck. So definitely check it out. And leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, you can also see the deck list in the description of this video. Be sure you're subscribed if you haven't so you can get updated every day when I post a new video. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching and all of your support. I'm going to get out of here, like I said. And until next time, take care.